Okay, Ryan here with Hustle Sauce. I have Josh Schoenly from Josh Schoenly Coaching / EXP Realty / whatever else you're up to. How you doing?
Next mortgage.
Oh yeah, that's right. Next to mortgage. Get the mortgage
Yep.
license now too.
Yeah.
So what we have here is a true hustler, Josh Schoenly. We're gonna jump right in, Josh. What are you doing? We were talking about your boot camp stuff. You want to tell us about this boot camp?
Yeah. So we were kind of bantering. What would be something cool to share on this a way that we're hustling right now. And so I am in on my coaching and real estate training side, selling a couple of different boot camps where it's basically 2 webinars walking through a process that I'm doing in my real estate business. So just kind of detailing what's working for me, and sharing that with other agents. And one of them is our absentee owner boot camp or absentee listings boot camp.
Can I take a step back? So a boot camp, is that like a course or a class? What's the concept?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like a course or a 2-part class, right? Where the way we're disseminating the information or sharing it is over 2 60 to 90-minute webinars. And so if someone enrolls in the boot camp, they get live sessions, 2 live sessions, they get the recordings, and then they get bonuses and the templates and so forth that we're using. I'm using the word boot camp. I don't know if it's the right word or not, but it's working, right? It's it's a 2-day boot camp or 2 1-hour class boot camp.
It sounds cool, and it sounds like something a little different than just, hey, come to my webinars.
Right. So I'm using a webinar to sell the boot camp, right? So and I would say the thing that how we're selling the free class. The free class is just unpacking the steps that we're going to go over in excruciating detail in the boot camp. So here are, for example, the absentee. Here are the 7 steps that we're following to get absentee owners to list their properties with us. That one's over, but it's literally just a go-to webinar page.
Yeah.
And so we have 2 boot camps that we're running right now, one for absentee owners and one for baby boomers or downsizing empty nesters. And in both of those, the format is the same, where we talk about the opportunity, like why would you want to target absentee owners as a potential, opportunity to take more listings. So why would you do that? And then here's how to do that. Here are the 7 steps that we follow to get absentee owners calling, texting, emailing us to potentially list their property. And we give an overview of that. And if you want to do a deep dive, then join us for the boot camp. We're going to go into X and Y and Z. We'll show you step by step, click by click, how to do this. And the reason I love this model, and I would encourage all of you watching this to figure out a way to replicate this in your business. Number 1, for me to teach the boot camp, I'm doing it for my business. So it like literally at the time of this recording, we had a week 1 boot camp yesterday. And so in me teaching the boot camp, I got right from my notes here, in me doing the work of the boot camp for my real estate business, I got 2 potential listings from that work. So like I'm showing people how to get more business. That's also, while I'm showing them, is getting me more business. Right. So I'm turning, I'm finding more ways to at least either monetize or provide value from the work I'm already doing. Like this is work I was going to do anyway. And now I've got people paying to see that and I get to help them.
So if you're a coach or consultant and you're watching this, especially, and you're probably doing the thing that you sell, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I would say, in whatever business you're in, if you could find a way to have the work that you do benefit in more than one way, right? That's working smarter, not harder. Like that's a different, that's the smart hustle instead of a, whatever, I don't know. A hard hustle or a grind hustle. And so, one of the things that we're using as part of this process, now I'm not using it in the promotion of the boot camp, but what we're using in the boot camp is and this is kind of something to think about too when you're thinking about, hustling, right? And creating a side hustle. In the boot camp, we show people how we're sending direct mail using thanks.io, and we're giving that, and I'm giving them, well, let me make it even bigger than that. There are several resources, tools that we use to in the work of the boot camp. And so in the boot camp, I'm telling them this is the tool I use, and oh, by the way, here's my affiliate link.
Right.
So I'm selling a program where by me teaching the program, I'm creating business opportunities for me, and I'm creating other streams of revenue by sharing what I'm using. Right.
You're showing how to use these third-party resources and sources, and naturally it leads to people wanting to buy them and generate use.
100%. But the key here is it's all 100% congruent. Like, I'm not telling them to use something that I'm not using. I'm not like finding some whatever. I'm using tools, and I'm just sharing those tools I'm using. And oh, by the way, some of them, not all of them, but some of them have an affiliate program that I can then reinvest to get more people to register for the free webinar that come to the boot camp that join in. And oh, by the way, complete transparency, some people end up joining me with eXp Realty and joining my organization. And that's
you're not
great
even,
too.
And that's pretty cool, because anybody who knows eXp knows that it gets sometimes a bad rap for heavy recruiting. Like people, some of the people at the company will come at you hard. You're letting people on your boot camps get the idea that they might want to join you, but you're probably not doing any explicit calls to action. You're building trust in the process of the boot camp.
100%.
Okay.
100%. Yep.
So let's take a step back. We're going to go through the whole funnel just to recap this. Yep. I'm going to start with the ad here, right?
So that we're using lead ads on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And we're using a lead form. And we're using Zap here to zap them into GoToWebinar. You could do the same with Zoom. That's just how we're doing it. I've been using, you and I, we've been using GoToWebinar.
That makes a ton of sense, because I've tried all different kinds of objectives on Facebook. I think you'd agree that I always come back to doing the lead forms because it's just a cheaper cost per action with better contact info. That's it.
100%. And it's what Facebook would prefer. You're keeping them on their, in their ecosystem, right? And so, 100%.
And this image here, funny face guy like MM Crypto, for those of you who know who he is, with the O face and the big the big letters. Is this something you have tested a lot, or was it just something that you did for this one?
So this, we didn't do a ton of testing for this one, but this one beat out the other option we had. Was like basically ugly yellow postcard, where it was just yellow background, black lettering, and a silly face guy, me. This one, for whatever reason, did better than that.
Do you usually do like 2 ad variations, or do you do like 5 or 15? It's just coming to mind.
This is a great question. What I typically do is I will depend, and this will vary by your audience size, and you just kind of have to play around with this stuff. But I'll usually do 3 different campaigns that are exactly the same.
Okay.
And what happens is 1 or 2 of them just crush the other 1 or 2, and I just turn off the ones that aren't performing well. Because anytime you launch a new campaign, Facebook will go and find that they're starting it with like a pocket of, they're going to put it in front of 500 to 1,000 people that fit in a similar algorithm or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
And so by doing that, you potentially find pockets of people that, they just, some ads work better than others. If we're testing a new image, we'll test that image across all 3 campaigns.
Got it.
So anyway, that's how I've been doing them.
I've never heard this before. The campaign is exactly the same because you're trying to give the algorithm more opportunity to find the right people.
Ryan, you froze. I hope it's not me.
How's it now?
Yep. Good.
Okay. So the campaign is exactly the same. Nothing different about it, just so that you can find pockets of, give the algorithm a chance to find the right people. I've never heard of that before. Okay.
Yeah.
100%. That's pretty
and
sweet.
I hadn't either until about a year and a half ago, but it absolutely works.
Okay.
You can do this and you'll get one of the campaigns will get, is getting $5 leads at $5, and one of them's getting them for 15. There's no rhyme or reason. It's putting it and finding. Facebook is using their algorithmic whatever to find different pockets of people, and some of those pockets it's gonna work better than others.
So same ad creative, same ad set, same everything.
Literally nothing different. Create one ad and duplicate it twice. Change nothing.
So that's some sweet hustle sauce for me. Thank you.
For
anybody, I'm sure that'll benefit somebody else watching. All right, so they come through, they click on the ad, they get zapped into GoToWebinar. GoToWebinar does its thing. What I love about that too is that I know that the GoToWebinar reminder emails will get through with Gmail, right?
So two things with GoToWebinar.
Yeah.
Number one, that you can set up a max of 3 reminder emails. Make sure you do all 3. The way we do it is 1 day, 3 hours, 1 hour. Okay. There's also a hack where 15 minutes before, this is how we do it. 15 minutes before, you go in to the confirmation email, okay? And you change it. You change the beginning of the subject line to starting now, and then you go and select all the registrants and say, resend the confirmation email. So you're getting an extra reminder. And if you want to get real aggressive, right before you go live, go back in, change it to say, we are live, and do the same thing, okay? Another hack with GoToWebinar, and this is how we have, in some cases, gotten 50%, some cases even more, 50% more sales, is if my webinar is Monday at 2:00, before I go live, I go in at the top of the webinar, dashboard, and you add another session to the webinar tomorrow at 2:00. And what happens is it rolls over, because only a certain percentage of people are going to show up live, especially if you're doing cold traffic. If you're just doing cold traffic, like what I just shared here, like don't expect 50% of the people to come. It's more going to be like 20%.
Yeah.
But we roll it over, we reset the reminders, and if we get 20% on day 1, we might get another 10% on day 2, and we will typically do it at least 3 times. So we'll roll it over one more time, and maybe we get another 5%. Well, now, we're potentially, I don't know that we're doubling our sales, but we're at least getting 50% more sales.
Are you doing them live?
What's that?
Are you doing them live each time, or are you having somebody just run the webinar?
You just run the webinar. Yeah, you just run the webinar. You can look it up on YouTube. You can find Mike actually does it for me now. And I also have a contact that can do those as well. But yeah,
I remember that from back in the day. So that still works. You just run the replay of the first webinar in those extra sessions, so you don't have to keep representing the content.
100%. Yeah, you only do that if it's actually working, right? Like if the webinar was a dud and you didn't sell anything, like maybe you should do it again and tweak your offer or the sequencing or something like that. But once you have a sales webinar that is working, man, just roll with it.
So they get on the webinar. On the webinar, you do kind of like a trust building value. You add value. You do some
100%.
free training. They get something in exchange for their time. They do get something good, but you structure the webinar in a way that it creates desire for the sale, for them to pay money and attend the actual boot camp.
Yep. And I know that this is something I've struggled with for years, because sales webinars, I've always wanted to teach. And the sales gurus, the webinar gurus out there will tell you, don't teach, right? Like, don't do like hard training or hard teaching. And I've just always struggled with that. So I've come to like a happy medium where I'm giving, and this actually ties in a little bit to something Michael said in episode 2 of Hustle Sauce, was some of the best performing lead magnets are checklists, cheat sheets, and roadmaps. What I'm giving people in the webinars is the roadmap for taking absentee listings. I'm giving them the steps in the process. I'm not showing them exactly how to do that.
Right.
I'm giving them examples. And one thing that has worked really well is also when you can, making it interactive. So part of the webinar, I ask people for zip codes of, okay, where would you want to take absentee listings? And I use a tool, and my screen is frozen right now. At that point, I use a tool and I actually tell them, oh, using the tool that we're going to show you how to use in depth in the boot camp, it looks like there are this many, potential listings in your market in that zip code. And so like identifying opportunity beyond like just me saying this is an opportunity, but like making it.
And I'm sure that tool, I think I know what it is, that has an affiliate program, right?
100%. Absolutely.
So,
but listen, that's not why I don't promote it because it has an affiliate. I promote it because I'm using it. And oh, by the way, they have an affiliate program. Like if I wasn't using it, I wouldn't promote it.
I just think it's important for people to realize that, when they have a business, there are within that business infrastructure, you can have multiple streams of income in kind of an ethical, logical way.
And you can do that. Like if you have a local bit, there are ways to do this. If you just are willing to think outside of the traditional box, like you could figure out a way to do this as a local business owner, right? You could become a, the media, the local media mayor in your little town, right? And provide services and benefits to other local business owners, which, oh, by the way, then, creates a channel for you to promote your local business as well. So like, there's lots of ways to take sort of the bigger concepts here and apply them to many different types of businesses and structures of businesses. And just look at how can I create multiple ways to profit from the same activity? It's why I got licensed as a mortgage loan originator. I was looking for what ways, where are the additional revenue streams? How can I profit more from the same service I'm already providing?
The work you're going to do tomorrow, you're going to do the work anyway.
Right.
So how do I just earn more from it?
Right. But it's from a place of service first and foremost, right? It's not about trying to make money out of thin air. It's coming first from the fact that I know I'm going to provide great service and great products, et cetera. And oh, by the way, are there more ways that I can keep more of that profit to feed the marketing engine or to, whatever, feed the lifestyle, feed the experience.
That's what I was just going to bring up. The actual revenue you generate from those affiliate products probably is enough or comes close to paying for that initial Facebook ad.
Right. Yes.
If you think about the funnel, so that then your actual sale of the boot camp, there isn't much overhead if you think about it.
Yeah.
And you can scale.
And this is a great lesson. I would recommend, again, regardless of what business you're in, if you can figure out a profit center, the old school internet term is a self-liquidating offer. Mm-hmm. Find some way, some new revenue stream that can feed marketing, that can grow your sales of whatever that primary thing is, and become, create for yourself an unlimited marketing budget. If you can do that, world's your oyster. That is such a. What does that
and
mean?
You've done that. You've got your boot camp, and then you've got your and then on the back end you've got EXP, which you're doing well with. We won't get too far into that right now, but to continue on the funnel, somebody comes to this page after the webinar. On the webinar, you give them the link. They come here, they order, and then I guess a couple of days later they're on the live boot camp with you for a few days. Yep. And then the sales you make on the live boot camp are the affiliate sales, and then recruiting into your main business. Is it fair to call EXP your main kind of core?
100%. Yeah, I mean that's you've got it nailed. Now we do have some upsells in the like the point of sale, right? There are some additional offers. We do a setup service. We have that as an upsell. There's another, like I mentioned, that we have 2 boot camps. So, you can sign up for the other boot camp at a discount. I think there's 3 additional offers that we make in the actual point of sale funnel. But then, as you mentioned, in the course and in the boot camp, we have other ways to profit and grow the the total value per customer or client.
So you've given us lots of sauce here. There's lots of different things. The Facebook tip was awesome. Thank you for that. I'm going to try that right
Yeah.
away. But the main takeaway, I think, for people is this concept of the boot camp, where you're providing education for free, but you're transitioning it into a paid product. Make sure you layer in some additional resources that can pay you affiliate revenue if it makes sense. Don't force it, right?
Yeah.
And then,
but here's the thing: if you're watching this, you probably are a Thanks.io user, or you're thinking about using Thanks. Figure out how to use Thanks to grow your business, and then can I then use that as a story to tell to other business owners like me that I can, because Thanks has an affiliate, an affiliate opportunity, right? So
yeah, thanksaffiliates.com, and thank you, Josh. I didn't ask you to do that,
listen,
but that's a really good point.
That is a big key of what created the idea behind this boot camp, right? Because having multiple ways to build up revenue, it just made sense. And again, first and foremost, I'm using the thing to get myself more business. Like I'm eating my own dog food, let's say. It's a dumb analogy, but first and foremost, I'm doing that, and then I'm using that as an opportunity to help and share with the community, in this case of real estate agents.
No, I really like that point. So find a tool that you like using, whether it's Thanks.io or not. Figure out a method for using it that works for your business. Then do a boot camp for other similar people who are in your business that shows them how to use it. And that could work in a lot of cases. I know a lot of business owners, you need to recruit to your business, mortgage lenders, insurance people. Even if you're an attorney or something, like, you need other people on your team. So this could be a great way to attract the way you are people into that fold without it even being overtly mentioned in the process.
100%.
Very cool. Well, we could, as we know, Josh, we could go all day.
For sure.
But rather than keep people here, what's the best way for somebody to connect with you?
I just find me on social. I'm on all the socials.
Okay.
Find me on Facebook or YouTube, LinkedIn.
I'll drop a link or two below, either in the YouTube description or on the Hustle Sauce website. It's hustlesauce.com/episode 3 if you're listening on the podcast. What's up?
Growwithjosh.com. Growwithjosh.com. That'll have all those links.
Great.
You go to growwithjosh.com. I think that's my link tree, or it's something like that has a bunch of links on it and stuff, and ways to connect.
Thanks a lot, Josh. So head on over to growwithjosh.com. If you haven't done so already, go to hustlesauce.com and sign up to get our updates. We're going to have a lot more guests like this. I hope to have you on sometime soon, Josh. I need a lot more ideas like this. And,
absolutely.
Thanks a lot.